Welcome back to the Work Wellbeing podcast. I'm Amy Green, your host from The Wellness Strategy, and we're here to talk about all things personal and professional wellbeing. This podcast is designed to help you become curious and consider your everyday wellbeing strategies, what you do for your own wellness, and how you can start to transform your life both in and out of the workplace. Sit back, grab a cup of tea, maybe grab a notepad, a journal, and get ready to feel really enlightened about what wellbeing used to be, what it is now, and where you can take your own wellness strategy. Hi, and welcome back to the Work of Wellbeing podcast. I'm Amy. Gosh, what a thing to talk about when we think about where to start and what to do in this big idea and concept that is staff wellbeing. I don't know about you, but I have certainly noticed more and more people talking about this, more and more people wanting to make it a priority and bringing it to the forefront. And, all of that is wonderful and fantastic, but sometimes the more people talk about things, the louder it becomes, the more overwhelmed we feel. And it's hard to know, where to focus and what to do and how we make it a priority and where to start and what we should pay attention to and what we should ignore and what works for us and what won't, and what to read and what to ignore and what to listen to and what to explore. There are just so many different ways we could take it. And look, I love that there are people and resources and time given to this space, but I think we have to be really mindful and careful not to make it too challenging or too hard. And that means we want to simplify it because we want it to be impactful. We want it to be achievable, but most of all, we want it to be easy. And what I mean by that is we want it to be something that we look at and think, this is possible for us. Because I think so many wellbeing initiatives have us perceiving that we need to stop everything and start again, or we need to be putting on more workshops for staff around things like sleep or nutrition, or offering yoga classes and cancelling meetings. And you've heard me say time and time again, that's not the answer. And so where do we actually start then? What do we actually do if we're really unclear and unsure about what to do to turn our school into a great workplace, or, where we work into an even better workplace? Because if you Google it, there's going to be lots of things that pop up for you. It'll say things like reduce stress factors, increase engagement, find ways for staff to have flexible working options. And these are very generic, not to deny the impact of them, but it may not be what your staff require. It may not be what you need. It may not be meeting you at your point of need. And we know that all of this is really relevant when it comes to thinking about where to start. So I want to break some things down for you to help you, feel more at ease about this journey, and then also to leave you in a position of being able to actually do something that's meaningful and available within your resources, which is time and energy and money and people. We've got to consider that, not just alongside what we'd like to do, but actually what we can do. And so the first place that I would recommend you starting, whether you're an individual listening to this or whether you're a leader listening to this, or maybe you're listening to it as a team, is to develop a shared understanding of what wellbeing is. Because if we don't have this, we kind of have people coming at it from different aspects. So we all want to get to the same destination, but we're driving on different roads. Now, that's not always a problem, especially if we're looking at personal wellbeing and we're looking to improve our own wellbeing and we're all on different roads. That's okay, because everyone requires, I can't say that word today, a different strategy. But when we're thinking about it as a workplace, we want people on the same road because we want to be at the same destination, and we also want to be driving there in the same way. That's not to say there can't be multiple roads open at any one time, or multiple roads that you might choose to go down over a period of time, but we want to be really clear about which one we're on at the moment. And so when it comes to knowing what staff wellbeing is in your workplace and in your school setting, you have to be really clear about that. So that's my first step that I would encourage you to consider. How you go about this, it can look like lots of different things. Of course, you can work with someone, but, I think sometimes just sitting down and reading different definitions, reading some research papers, reading books around the concept is enough to be able to give you an understanding of what wellbeing is and perhaps isn't, but also emphasize that it's quite a broad topic. And when you do this, what you can come back to is, well, what does it mean for us? You can have conversations as a leadership team, as a working team, as a whole staff around deciding what this is. And I think when you do this and it becomes the first crucial step, what you actually have is a shared understanding that's going to help driving down that road a whole lot easier. Because let's not deny the fact that you're going to come across road bumps and potholes and all of the things that might happen to make this road a little bit bumpy in your journey of creating a staff wellbeing culture. But if we know where we're going, if we know where we're ending up, if we know the destination we want to arrive to, hitting those potholes or speed bumps or whatever it might be can be a little bit more manageable because we know how to get back on track and everyone is with us. So that's the first step. The second step is ask your people. Ask your people what they'd like. And I do this in a multiple range of ways with schools, and we have this in our swim program as well. We teach you to do this. Ask your people. What do they want to see more of, less of, done differently? What ideas do they have? Now, people are going to give you all weird, wide, and wonderful things here, and we love that. But we want to be narrowing down, especially in the first phases, into the small possible changes we can do quickly. Because what this does is it builds within us the idea that, we can do it. It's not that hard. We can make some changes and they can have impact. And it says to the people we work with and other staff and team members that, their voice is being heard and listened to, and they too can get some momentum around seeing things being changed or shifted. And what that really does, it is allows people to come together with collective responsibility and a shared understanding that they are all the drivers of this work. Because if we sit in a position, let's say we have leaders getting together and they're sitting around a table and they're deciding what to do, and then we filter that down, sometimes we'll be missing the mark completely, and we may just be guessing and hoping it works, or it may not be the thing that gets us the biggest return on investment. So one thing I love to do is ask people, what would you like to see done differently? What ideas or suggestions do you have that is within our control and is possible? So what that means is we can control this thing. We actually can make some decisions or changes to do it differently. It's not something that is passed down by system or legislation or whatever it might be. It's actually something we control and make the decision around. And the next thing is it has to be possible. So what that means is they not only have to think about the idea, but they also have to think about what would be some of the steps we'd go through to implement it, and is it actually possible? And this implementation piece is crucial because sometimes people have great ideas, but they don't always tap into what would it take to make this happen. And when you unpack it, you think, gosh, maybe that isn't possible right now. So by asking this question, what we have are ideas and things that are possible now. Then we can look at it through the Eisenhower matrix, or we can look at it through simply what do we think we're going to get the biggest return of investment on, what's going to be impactful, what is going to be useful, what is going to give us the biggest impact, however you want to organize those ideas. And then you can start to pick one or two to shift over a short period of time, because we're looking for those quick wins. We want that boost, that good emotion that says we're doing great work here, it's giving us hope, and we know it's going to make a difference. So that's the second one. The first one is all about building that shared understanding. The next one is about asking your people, brainstorming and picking strategy and solution together. And the third one is about giving yourself time and space. Now, I am not a big believer or a big supporter of the concept or the idea that change is slow and change takes time. I think we can be a little bit more braver and ambitious at the moment by doing things in a way that perhaps might be a bit quicker than we think, or just by simply making the decision. But what I mean by time and space is linking back to implementation. Give yourself time and space to know if the thing has worked. So we want time and space and then feedback around it. Has it made a difference? Is it creating a positive impact? Has it actually helped improve staff wellbeing under whatever area it might have been, whether it's productivity or engagement, whether it's staff morale and culture, whether it's helping people like they have better flow through work and life, whether it's about creating more time for people to do deep work, whatever it is. Give yourself time and space for the thing to implement. Not just happen, not just go, okay, we've done it now. What difference has it made? Give yourself, I would say, at least 6 months, 3 to 6 months for it to become embedded, and then get feedback on has it worked. Because otherwise we might keep doing something and it's not working, or we might think we've done something because we've made the decision around it, but actually it hasn't been embedded and therefore it's not impactful or effective. So they're my 3 tips to get you started as you go about improving your school and workplace to make it a really great and wonderful place for your people to work and to bring everyone into this space. It's not just up to leaders, it's top down, bottom up, middle out. That's how we've got to do it. So the first one is all around building that shared understanding of workplace wellbeing and what we're here to do, what we're doing, the road we're going down, and where we want to end up. The second one is all about making sure that we use staff voice to capture input. We're looking for those quick wins, the things that we can do that are within our control and possible, and we're thinking about implementation. And the third one is time and space to allow it to become embedded, so then we can collect feedback to know whether or not it's been impactful, whether it's meaningful, or whether or not we need to make some tweaks. As always, if you'd enjoyed that, share it, let me know, comment, whatever it is. I hope you have gotten something useful out of that. And if you're thinking, gosh, how can I do this better in my school? I just wanted to share with you very briefly about SWIM. So SWIM is our Staff Wellbeing and Improvement membership. Sometimes I hear we just don't have the money to invest in staff wellbeing. This is $3,999. So, less than $4,000 for a whole school, which, coming from working in a school and knowing budgets, it's a pretty low price point for 12 months access to a whole range of modules that allow you to do exactly what we've talked about in this episode, not to mention leadership modules, worksheets that you can do all staff or together, things that you can do on your own, and every single person in your school having access to their very own personal wellbeing course that they can do in their own space. I think that's a pretty good investment for $3,999. So if you need anything else, make sure that you jump on our website and check it out, or flick me a message, find me on LinkedIn. That's where I spend most of my time. As always, though, go and have a great day, night, evening, whatever time of day it is for you, and I'll see you somewhere soon. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning into today's episode. I really do hope you have enjoyed it. The information discussed today was just that, information only. It's not specific advice. If you take action following something you heard today, it's important to make sure that you get professional advice about your unique situation before you proceed, whether that advice be legal, financial, accounting, medical, or otherwise. Please reach out to me if you have any questions, or if there's anything else I can do to support your own wellbeing and wellness journey, whether it's another topic you'd like me to discuss, or whether it's support in your school, workplace, or individually. And if you do know someone who might benefit from listening to this, please remember to tell them about it, share the episode with them, or suggest my Instagram, my website, or LinkedIn, where they can find out more about me and what I do. And as always, I will see you in the next episode.